The Trojan War is one of the most well-known stories from ancient Greece. It has been told and retold in countless works of literature, art, and film, but is it fact or fiction? This is a question that has puzzled scholars and historians for centuries, and the answer is not a simple one. The Trojan War is said to have taken place in the Late Bronze Age, around 1200 BC. The ancient Greeks believed that the city of Troy, located in modern-day Turkey, was sacked by a coalition of Greek states led by King Agamemnon of Mycenae. The war is said to have lasted for 10 years and ended with the fall of the city of Troy. The city of Troy was believed to have been located on the coast of the Aegean Sea, in the northwest of modern-day Turkey. The ancient city was believed to have been destroyed and rebuilt several times over the course of several centuries. Archaeologists have uncovered several layers of ruins at the site, dating back to the Bronze Age. However, there is still debate over whether any of these ruins are actually the city of Troy as described in the ancient texts. Some scholars argue that the city described in the Iliad may be a conflation of several different settlements, or that the Trojan War is a symbolic or allegorical story rather than a historical event. The Trojan War is most famously recounted in the Iliad, an epic poem attributed to the Greek poet Homer. In the poem, the war is sparked by the abduction of Helen, the queen of Sparta, by the Trojan prince Paris. The Greeks launch a massive expedition to retrieve Helen and bring her back to Sparta. The poem tells of the heroism of Achilles, the great Greek warrior, and the tragedy of Hector, the Trojan prince. Along with the Iliad, Homer also wrote the Odyssey, which tells the story of Odysseus and his 10-year journey home after the fall of Troy. These works are considered some of the greatest works of literature from ancient Greece, but it's not clear if these texts are entirely fiction or if they were based on actual historical events. Some scholars argue that the Trojan War and its characters are based on historical events, but that the events have been embellished, or altered over time. The Trojan War is also known for the famous Trojan horse, a large wooden horse that the Greeks built and left outside the gates of Troy as a decoy. The Trojans, thinking it was a gift, brought the horse into the city, and in the dead of night, the Greek soldiers hidden inside the horse emerged and opened the city gates, allowing the rest of the Greek army to enter and defeat the Trojans. The story of the Trojan horse is considered a classic example of trickery and deception in warfare, but again, it's not clear if it is based on fact or fiction. Some scholars believe that this story is also a symbol or an allegory, with the Trojan horse represents a form of Trojan betrayal or Trojan deceit. Another aspect of Trojan War that raised questions is the leading Greek city, Mycenae. Mycenae was a powerful city-state in the Late Bronze Age, but there are few material remains from the city that would confirm the existence of a city-state powerful enough to lead a coalition against Troy. The Mycenaean culture is known for its impressive fortifications, palaces, and tombs, but there is little concrete evidence to link them directly to the Trojan War. However, there is evidence of Mycenaean presence and influence in the eastern Aegean region, including at sites that have been identified as potential candidates for the location of Troy. However, despite the lack of concrete evidence, many scholars believe that the Trojan War was based on a real historical event or series of events, rather than purely a work of fiction. The clues from the archaeology and historical records from the era when the war is supposed to have taken place indicate that the Aegean region was a site of frequent conflicts for control of trade routes, resources, and influence. The Trojan War remains one of the most enduring and fascinating stories from ancient Greece. Whether fact or fiction, it continues to capture the imagination and inspire new interpretations. The Trojan War is not just a story of the past, but a reflection of the human experience and the timeless themes of love, sacrifice, and the quest for glory.